go to a restaurant Saturday evening, night with the boys, and we have, I guess it's called hibachi, that I just learned right before I jumped on. And it's one of the ones, if you do not know, they cook right in front of you. It's a pretty cool experience. The food was terrific. I got I believe it was chicken and rice with some sirloin steak. It was an amazing meal. And then the guy's cooking it in front of me, and you got where I'm sitting and all my buddies are sitting, it's one row. And then the next one in front of it is another party, and they have their own cook. This guy was phenomenal. He's tossing onions. He's tossing all this kind of stuff. You got steak, whipping the steak into some guy's mouth. It was such a cool thing. Then we get this dude, okay? No enthusiasm whatsoever. This guy's just cooking, whatever. He dropped the knife 4 or 5 times. He couldn't do a trick for his life. I feel like I intimidated him, give him the evil eyes for some reason. If you ever ran into these things or have even been to these places where they cook in front of you, that kind of style, because for that amount of money, the experience was good, the food was good, but I mean, paying for a guy's gonna drop his thing all the time and can't do tricks, I don't know.
Yeah, I hate it when a guy drops his thing and can't do tricks with it.
It's a little concerning. I mean, like, do you think they do background checks on these guys? Like, that you're handling knives, you're whipping them in the air, you don't know where these things are going. Do you think they actually have a handle on what they're using? Like, I don't know. It was my first time doing it. Pretty cool experience, but I had to take that and had to let it go. Jared, what do you make of the situation? Have you ever been to one of these fine establishments?
I mean, I have been to one of those places. I'm super boring when it comes to food. I'm a very much American style food. I'll eat my burger, I'll eat my chicken fingers. Like, I'm that kid that goes to a restaurant and goes on the kids menu and orders chicken fingers. So I don't really eat that type of food. However, on vacations, like my family loves it, so I'll often go just kind of for the show, and whatever. And I'm thankfully on vacation. I'm not usually the one that's handling the bill, so I usually just get to enjoy the show and walk away. But yeah, that sounds like an expensive meal. That is pretty ridiculous. And I'm sure there's some kind of background check in the interview. It's just fucking juggling everything. I imagine that's kind of how the interview process works. But yeah, I imagine if you look up like biggest failures or like biggest incidents, I'm sure you'll find something of incidents that have happened at restaurants like that. Because yeah, that sounds pretty scary. I'm sure there has been issues where someone, I slipped up and tried to catch the sharp part of the knife, or
I'm sure someone died.
I guarantee you
that's worth a Google. That's worth a Google.
Someone has
I guarantee
died.
you there's been incidents there. But yeah, I imagine there's some kind of background check, but like
probably a tryout.
At the end of the day, you're juggling knives, something could go wrong. Like there's no 100% safe method of doing that. But yeah, I'm sure it was a fun night. But yeah, that's expensive, and I'm sure it sucks that the guy was not enthusiastic in dropping his knife, because that seems like it could have been one step away from a big accident.
I mean, go on, John. We'll take it away.
I was just gonna say, no, he kind of reminds me of a little like kind of a side story. Me and my friend in like grade, I don't know, maybe grade like 6. It was like a really long streak of indoor recesses because it rained a lot, and we used to, I'm not joking, we used to play catch with scissors and see who could like throw it harder with the like actual sharp part out. So
excuse me.
No, I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. Like, we'd sit across from each other with like, I don't know if I got scissors near me, like actual scissors, and we just chuck them at each other's stomachs and not stomachs, but like,
jeez.
Yeah. Terrible idea, but it was
how
fun.
To raise a serial killer by damn Rimoli.
Vaughn's finest. I mean, I went to a place in Vaughan. It was, I mean, again, the meal was terrific, but man, Jared, you mentioned the bill, and like you usually get to step away when your family's out for dinner and you just get to enjoy the meal and scoot out the back door. Me, man, I had to pay the money. The guy was looking at me, hoping for a generous tip. I'm like, man, you didn't, I was hoping for a steak hitting my lips, going down my throat. No, nothing like that. Like, it was just, here you go, on his way. Like, I was hoping for something a little more, would have made the experience that much better, but $65, I'm a little iffy on that.
That's a lot.
That's like a lot, man.
2.5 meals, man.
Yeah.
I remember we went to like, what was it called? Hoops in downtown Toronto, across the street from Scotiabank. I paid like, what, 25 for those?
Did you pay $60 for yourself?
$60 for me, man.
Yeah.
Oh wait, that was just
me. No, I didn't pay for anyone else.
No. I thought you were saying in general your whole.
No, I wish. No chance.
Bro, did you like was there solid gold on these?
I was
Like,
hoping, like, if I'm paying that, I could pay my mom. She makes it for free. I could go right to the stove. Hey, mom, make this. She's cooking it right in front of my eyes. I don't gotta pay 65
And
bucks
like,
for
she
that.
won't toss a knife at
that's
you.
why
It's
Yeah.
nobody
awesome.
goes we like Benihana. Like that's why nobody goes to Benihana, because it's so overpriced, because it's like you're not paying for the food, you're paying for the experience.
Yeah. For sure.
And I mean, California's got it all. And I mean, that's where you are right now, Mr. Evan Davis. You've made your way out of
Yeah.
Toronto. You're back in the sunny parts of the City of Angels. How do you like it, man? I guess I'd assume it's good to be back out of this cold here.
Yeah, the weather's been pretty nice, to say so. Apparently I left at the perfect time, because I guess there was a fire alarm that went off, and then
Ooh.
Daniel's texting me that the hot water doesn't work anymore.
Oh my
So
god.
it seems like the nightmare before Christmas happened right after I left. And
Well,
then
they're still on the ground too.
yeah, I went to the beach today with my family. Just got back from the beach, and then Sunday night I'll see your Leafs playing Anaheim with my dad.
Yeah, you can't shake them, man. They're always following you around. Come
I
into
know, I'm getting a
Toronto.
restraining order on these people. They're not worth my time anymore.
Hey, I mean, at least you're watching a good matchup Sunday night. Leafs, Ducks. Ducks are in prime form. We'll be getting to them in a little bit later. And I mean, I got this one question for Jared before we get into the meat and potatoes of the show. How does it feel without this soul, this Skunitzer on your next door neighbor? Like, is it a little bit more quieter around there? You don't get him getting hyped at all?
Yeah, the only word I could say is quiet. It's very quiet without Mr. Evan Davis just fucking around over here, doing whatever this kid does. Yeah, I don't know. I miss him. You know, there was a tearful goodbye at my front door over here. It was a really tearful goodbye when he finally headed out. Once he left, though, there was a celebration. It was running around, rallying the troops. Got out the rally towel. You know, it was a big celebration. We threw a full party around the building. It was like we did a going away party, but he wasn't invited to like it was actually celebrating him going away. That's a classic South Park joke. I love that episode. Kyle's going away party, but he isn't invited to it.
Oh man.
But yeah, no, I miss him. Whenever he made a safe trip over to LA, he's sending videos to our group chat. He seems to be having a better time than we are. He's fucking, yeah, here guys, I'm at the beach. Here I'm at, there's palm trees everywhere. I'm like, oh yeah, I look outside. Spoiler alert, I looked outside. I did not see any palm trees.
There aren't any here.
Yeah, not a lot of palm trees in downtown.
Well, because I was FaceTiming Emily, and she was like, "Are there any palm trees by your house?" And then I like flipped the camera around, like she's like, "Where the hell do you live?"
Just to touch on the fire drill he mentioned, yeah, this was not a fun wake up this morning. I think it was a fire drill, whatever, nothing happened. I woke up to an alarm blaring in my room, and I was genuinely ready to say it. Like I knew it was a drill. I'm like, I'm not getting out of bed. And eventually someone's like, you need to get out of bed. Like I literally, like everyone's like freaking out in our group chat, and I literally just sent a picture of me in bed, like, meh. Like, nah, I'm not feeling it. And they're like, Jared, get the hell out of bed. And finally, I'm like, fine, whatever. I didn't even care. Like, I walk outside my room. There's still security chilling there. No one was like urgent. No one was stressing. No one was like running. So I knew it wasn't anything going on. Like, I knew it was just a drill. I wasn't worried. But yeah, I literally took the elevator down because I didn't know where the stairs were. It was not like I did not do my utmost fire safety today. I'll tell you that.
What time was it?
I mean, like 11, but I have my late class today. No. But I have my late class today, so this is like my one day I get to sleep in. Like I don't have class until 3, so this is supposed to be my sleep-in day, and then I just got a blaring alarm, and was not happy.
That fire drill was today?
Yeah.
I thought that was yesterday.
Nope.
Oh my god, my days have been. I mean, I've been up since 5 a.m. So.
Oh, this poor kid. We're in a class together. I thought I have it bad because it's 8 a.m. for me. And then we get a text in our little group chat. Oh, it's 4:50 in the morning, guys. Like, I was getting to bed at that time.
I went to bed at like 9 o'clock, woke up at 4.
Oh my
and
God.
I thought the fire drill was yesterday.
It's all the days are just blending in for you, man. It's all blurred.
Well, I'm also so jet lagged.
Yeah,
Like, I'm still jet lagged. Like I'm still getting used to like the time.
Yeah, that's fair.
At least you got to go poolside for a little bit. You get the better life than we have here. No fire drills down in California, but we do have in California this Toronto Maple Leafs team that we are about to get into. I want to welcome you guys all into season 2, the new episode 9 of the Leafs Line podcast. I really want to clear the air just before we kick things off. So we had a bit of technical issues. The video ended up getting deleted following what we posted. I can assure you it was a great video. You missed Jared, man. He went on a rant about the refereeing, the officiating in the National Hockey League. You had to be there, and I wish you were. But again, technology isn't always perfect, and I guess it hit us hard this time. But this is not going to happen again. I can assure you that. And yeah, I mean, that's all I really got to say. I apologize for it not being released last week, but we got it going this week. And again, as always, a jam-packed show to talk about. So I really want to get into it right now. The Toronto Maple Leafs kicking off their road trip in California, as well as the California teams. We'll be touching upon them as well. The trio, San Jose, Anaheim, LA, all having good seasons for the most part. I really want to get into them. I know we've talked about them briefly on and off in the last couple of shows. I want to dedicate a segment just to them, not just because the Leafs are playing them and the fans are going to get a closer view on them, but Evan's down there. You can give us a bit of a more insight on them, and you follow the team just as much as anyone else. So I think this is a perfect segment for you. And we've had what might be my favorite segment I've ever done in the show, jerseys. I love jerseys. You guys might know this about me. I collect jerseys. Don, I can see by your that beautiful Pens jersey you got in the back there. You're a big
Try
jersey.
to keep my unmade bed out of the frame here.
Ooh,
I have the light blue Winter Classic, like from the first ever one, the Crosby one.
Sick, eh? Yeah.
No, but yeah, we got treated with a lot of jerseys dropping this week, including the New Jersey Devils and some Olympic ones. The Olympics are just around the corner. You got Team USA and Team Canada, even Team Finland. I saw a bit of them peeking around a bit. Those ones look pretty nice. We'll get into it a little later, getting your reactions on it, because social media had their reaction on it. Let me tell you, it was not too pleasant, and I might have to side with them on some of them. But again, we will talk about that later before concluding off with our weekly trivia segment on the show. So Leafs, man, this team is red hot. They did cool down a bit. They took a 2-0 loss Saturday night to the Pittsburgh Penguins. I think it was just a get the game off. They played a lot of hockey and a lot of nights. I didn't get to watch all the game. Again, I was spending $60 on a dinner. How was the game? I mean, I didn't get to analyze it fully, watched a couple highlights here and there, but it just seemed like a nonchalant game. When you put in your back pocket, say a loss is a loss.
I mean, so I like being at that game. It's just like Pittsburgh's defense was unbelievable in that one, and it's just a credit to them. Like Toronto had their chances. They missed a lot of great grade A chances in front, especially on that 5-on-3 late that really could have opened up the game, given that there were only 2 minutes left though. But I mean, Pittsburgh was just all over them. They had made some very smart plays. Both that second goal that they scored, Jason Zucker somehow was able to get that puck. It was like a dump in by Kapanen that took a weird bounce off the glass, and Jason Zucker ended up getting it right in front of Jack Campbell, and Campbell's under the impression that he's going to shoot the puck, and instead what's his name, Jeff Carter beats out Jake Muzzin and gets an empty, like a wide open net, and that was to make it 2-0. And it was kind of just the theme of the game where Pittsburgh just out hustled them the entire game.
I mean, that game was one of the 3 games in 4 nights that the Toronto Maple Leafs played, and Leafs fans were treated to a lot of qualitative and quantitative hockey. Lots of games in there, and lots of quality games at that. I want to go all the way back to the Rangers one to start. I believe it was a 2-1 victory, and I think they held them off quite a bit in the latter minutes, and that's what I really want to see. I remember texting Jared immediately after saying, this is the wins that I really want to see from this club. And I think I say this all the time when they edge out a 2-1 win, because again, history has repeated itself many, many times with this team. Those close games heading into the third period, they usually don't last, and it ends up on the wrong side of the sticks for the Maple Leafs. But this one, yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
The Leafs have won more 1-goal games this year than they won all of last.
Yeah, I was going to bring up that stat.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Are you serious?
Yeah, so they're 4th in goals against, but they're 26th in goals for. So
they
really
went from
weird.
They went from the most fun team to the most boring team. Like, I genuinely, obviously I enjoy watching Leaf games, but if I was a neutral hockey fan, I'm not turning on a Toronto Maple Leaf game.
Because I'm taking boring hockey over what I've seen before. 5-4 finishes.
I'll take wins.
Wins, man. That's all that matters.
I don't know. I like.
I hear you. I hear you.
You know, I like seeing Matthews score 3, Marner puts up 4 points, and we lose 6-5. You know.
I agree though, but when in the playoffs are we seeing a 5-4 game.
Oh,
I'd rather
not.
see that
I'm not
we're
kidding.
learning to win these
Oh
low
yeah,
scoring games, because that is
No,
the
it's
type
good that
of
they're winning these
yeah.
1-goal games.
Oh, I'm
yeah
just saying from a pure entertainment standpoint.
Oh,
I
yeah,
hear you.
yeah.
I hear you.
100. I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
And like you said, for a neutral hockey fan that doesn't care about the Leafs, they are going to want to see what the Leafs are kind of known to be, this high flying
Yeah.
team, just isn't what we are anymore. But again, the way we're playing right now makes I'm not going to say anything because we don't know how it's going to translate into the playoffs, but like it looks like the way we're playing right now is how you need to win in the playoffs. Is all I'm going to say there.
And I think you're just reiterating the heartbeat of Leafs Nation, what they're all saying. Like, these are the type of wins the New York Rangers win, especially those 2-1 wins, the close games where you got to shut down a team tight. And even credit to Sheldon Keefe. I don't want to go all the way back and spend all the time on that game all the way last Saturday, but I think it was a highlight of this past week of recaps for the Toronto Maple Leafs. I give credit to Sheldon Keefe. That timeout that he called, probably, I know it's an underrated one. Timeouts are usually frowned upon in the National Hockey League from a fan's point of view, but for Sheldon Keefe to take that timeout right when they scored that goal, maybe take a bit of the wind out of the New York Rangers sails. They were buzzing around the net, slow them down a little bit. I think that's perfect. I think it goes to, and you see it happen in sports all the time, baseball being one of them. Batters call time all the time because it just has to mess up the momentum and the timing of the opposing pitcher. So, I mean, I think that was a good move by Keefe, and I think everything is slowly starting to come. I said this last week. Obviously, you guys, the fans of the show, didn't get to see it, but last week and the week before, we keep reiterating that good things are starting to happen. The wheels are in motion for this Toronto Maple Leafs team, and a Toronto Maple Leafs team that now has a pretty good and unshaken goalie tandem now. Joseph Woll, I want to give credit to this kid, man. He has stepped it up. He deserves all the success that is coming his way. In his second career NHL start, Joseph Woll recorded his first career shutout against the New York Islanders, blanking a plummeting New York Islanders team. I was talking to a buddy of mine. He's been a lifelong Islanders fan, and man, he is not happy with the performance, and nor should he. If your team's getting booed, and I thought this was just a Leafs thing, fans boo them off the ice. No, it happens all around, and the Islanders fans, we know how passionate they are. We've seen it in the playoffs. They got a full boatload of it in that game Sunday night against the Toronto Maple Leafs, and it was a quick turnaround. They witnessed a tough loss to the Pittsburgh Penguins, like we mentioned off the top of the segment, a quick response and shutting the door on the New York Islanders. And I hope you guys remember this because I'm a big believer on this kind of stuff. Quick responsiveness is what I wanted to see from the Toronto Maple Leafs. I said this in the preseason when we were like sort of heading into the season. I said this during the season. I want to see this team have quick responsive times. I want to see you bounce back from a bad loss and come back strong. That's the exact thing I want to see, and that's what they did. And I'm really proud of what I've been seeing from this club. I think the defense is there. The goaltending is finally coming along. Not just with Jack Campbell, he's been terrific all year, but now we got a second goalie and even a third. If Mrazek comes back, I really want to see him establish his play. And this is the question I really want to pose to you. So Thanksgiving, it's American Thanksgiving. Evan, I'm sure you'll be celebrating it all week. This is usually the time where GMs check in on their team, see how it's going. And I read this stat today as well. I don't know if you guys took a look at it, but 80% of teams that are in a playoff spot at this time usually go through and make the playoffs in the by April. And I mean, I'm not a firm believer. I know that the minority, at least with the Toronto Maple Leafs, does happen to express itself more than often. But I think the Maple Leafs are set to be a postseason team. And this 80%, what are your thoughts on this Maple Leafs team at this sort of marker in the NHL schedule? We're at a quarter of the way through the year. I can't believe it's gone by already. It's been really coming up fast. What are your thoughts on this Maple Leafs team? And I want you guys to include the tough start and all the way down to what we've seen now, some big time success. I think they sit. They're in the top of the table. I know that in the standings. I haven't taken a look at it just yet, but I know they're running the standings a little bit. The Atlantic is looking like it's theirs and the Florida Panthers for the taking. What do you guys make of the season so far for the Leafs? Jared, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I'm loving what I'm seeing. And as you mentioned, of course, we started the year pretty wonky. It took us a while to settle into the season, but since we kind of got our shit kicked, we started the year. Sorry, we didn't start the year with a 4-game losing streak, but of course we had that 4-game losing streak early in the year. But since then, I don't know exactly what clicked, but something clicked in this team. We look like we're having fun playing hockey. We look like we're playing great offensively and as well are playing a great defensive style now. So overall, we're playing great games. Our offensive guys that we pay the money to score are starting to score. Our depth guys are now as well contributing. And overall, everything kind of seems to be working out. Jack Campbell, easily, I'd say, has been our MVP so far in this year. And yeah, we're doing great. I believe, at least the last time I checked, we're 5th or 6th place in league standings. But at this time of year, we are like 2 points away from being first place in the league. We're a win away. So yeah, everything seems to be working out. Obviously, a big test is going to be how we continue this moving forward in the year. But at this point, a quarter into the season, everything's working out. Everything looks really good. I'm really happy with what I'm seeing.
Yeah, and everything's falling into place. And this is what I want to see from the Maple Leafs again. I hate to keep reiterating and pumping my tires. Usually we save that for Evan on this show. But again, seeing that quick responsiveness time, I think that's what we're seeing now. They responded from that rough start and are slowly starting to trend towards the team that we expected them to be from the get-go. And I want to put the pin in what you were mentioning, Jared, the Jack Campbell situation, how terrific he's been in the defense, because there is something also to look in the defense. And I want to put a pin on that before I turn to Adamo. Adamo, what did you make of the Toronto Maple Leafs? Not just this past week, but overall this season. I know Thanksgiving in the US is usually a check-in point for GMs as to judge their team, what they're thinking. Should they add? Should they take a couple assets off? What do you make of this Maple Leafs team? Because what we've seen so far, it's been terrific.
I'm gonna take, like I normally do, a more pessimistic approach to this. They've been fantastic. They have been fantastic. I'll say it. They haven't been. I'm not sure what the word I'm looking for is, but they haven't been as good as they should be. Maybe that's what I'm saying. They're still getting outscored at 5-on-5, which is a concern. It's a major concern considering we say this all the time, but once playoffs come, you're playing 5-on-5 most of the time. So our 10-game winning streak, I think I tweeted it, was like, it was fun. It was a ton of fun. It was not 10-game winning streak, but when we went like 11-12 or something. It was mostly because of our hot power play and our good defense, or should I say great goaltending. Shout out Joseph Woll. He's been good. But they have been good. I will say that. The Stars have underproduced a little bit, which it's starting to get to that point where it's like, okay, like okay, Matthews, you've been back now. Like, I get it, you missed the first 3, but you're below point a game. Mitch Marner below point a game. Nylander, God, I love you, and we don't deserve you. And even Tavares has kind of slowed down recently. I love the Jersey Jared. I love William Nylander. He's so good. So yeah, they've been like, if I'm gonna give them a grade, I'll give them an A-.
Yeah, and I was gonna. You want to jump in, Jared?
Well, I just wanted to say to kind of build on what Adamo was saying. I think as great as we've been, we're definitely capable of more, and that's something that makes me incredibly positive as a Leafs fan, because it's like we're so good right now, and there's definitely more we could give. Like we're definitely far from a perfect team right now, but I just want to say we've been really good, and we definitely have room for improvement, which is a good thing, because there's various areas you could say we could touch ourselves up. If we could figure those things out, we can become as close to a perfect team as the season moves on. So yeah, I definitely agree with his point where we aren't perfect right now. We definitely have room for improvement. But the fact that we're, I believe, a top 5 team in the league right now with all those things that aren't quite all there, I'm pretty positive at this point in the season.
Yeah, and you want to add something, Adamo?
No, I was just Googling. They're 5th in the table.
Yeah, 5th in the table. They've been rolling, obviously, like we've more than said on this show. They they faced some adversity at the start. It was a rough start, like we've alliterated on the show. And I wanted to bring up this stat that I read. I don't know if you read this, Adamo, but out of all the NHL teams in a playoff position, the Toronto Maple Leafs are scoring the fewest goals per game at 2.55. Now, this was heading into the weekend, so you're taking out the game where they didn't score at all against the Pittsburgh Penguins and that 3-0 victory over the New York Islanders Sunday evening. So it's weird because when I read the stat, I didn't believe it at all, because if you're looking at the eye test, you're looking and seeing, oh, Matthews, Marner. Remember that streak when all these guys were stepping up and all we were seeing was the offense from the core 4? And then even before that, when we were seeing the only offense from the depth, I'm like, man, these guys are scoring a lot. And then you read the stat, and again, the numbers don't lie. They speak for themselves. It's very factual. And it's hard to argue with a team that's offense hasn't even been producing to the capabilities that we know. And they're getting this amount of success. So I think that just credits your point, Adamo. And I want to build off of that as well, because the offense does need a bit of a shakeup. I wouldn't say line-wise. I like the chemistry that they've built up. But again, I think that we could expect more. We've reached the level that we really wanted. I think it's time for them to take the next step forward. And to take the next step forward, I want to ask you guys this question, because the Toronto Maple Leafs throughout the season, they have settled, have not been able to settle on a defensive core. You're supposed to have legally to put on the ice 6 defensemen. They've been gambling with 7 to keep him 1 in the press box and watching the game from the stands. Guys that I see taking those spots in the stands: Dermott, Hall, Sandin, and Lilligren. Those last two, it really grinds my gears seeing those guys take a seat because I really want to see them develop. And I think it's very obvious. We've been really giving them a lot of credit on the show. They're taking really positive steps. I want to put Lilligren's name in the hat as well. He's been terrific of what we've seen, and I did not expect to see whatsoever from this kid. So I really hate that they're trying to touch upon these two players. But again, these guys are taking seats on the bench and in the press box, which I really don't like to see because they're sticking with 7 defensemen. Is this the right move? And are we going to see them settle on a 6th defenseman? Evan, you got the call.
Yeah, I mean, like we've talked about this a lot. You know my opinion. I think you got to get rid of Justin Hall, but I really have nothing else to say. Like to be honest, I'd like to go back to the first question because I've already regurgitated enough information about my opinion on the 7th defenseman. I think you need to find a new home for Justin Hall. There's no other way to say it. I don't care that he shoots left. Congratulations. You have a left-handed shot or right-handed shot. I don't care. You don't use the puck. You don't move the puck anyway.
Hey,
he's just not. He's not it. He's not it. And it's a toss up between Dermott and Hall. But in all honesty, like Justin Hall isn't as good. I don't think he's good. But to go back to your first question, like, look, the Leafs. They didn't look great against Pittsburgh. All the credit, all the respect for Justin Hall of getting your first shutout. But in all honesty, the New York Islanders have 7 guys out on COVID, and then Brock Nelson gets injured in the first period of that game. So you have 0 source of offense. Like I watched that game entirely. I didn't see a save that Justin Hall made where I was like, holy crap. It didn't really feel like he made a bunch of like saves that were really like impactful. It was kind of just like shots that a goalie in the NHL should be saving. So, I mean, the credit to him, but then again, a lot of those guys aren't your typical NHL players. And then just in regards to their hot start, power play and all that, we saw the same thing last year where they were one of the hottest teams in November, and especially on the power play, they were unstoppable. Like once you put them 5-on-4, it was Matthews in the slot or in the top of the circle, ripping one past the goalie. So look, I only really care about what happens in January and on, because we saw last year too, their numbers from November to April were like they started getting worse and worse in terms of power play percentage, went from all the way from 40% to 18%. And we even saw last year, like they just couldn't carry the puck into the zone. And you even saw that in the game against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh made it so difficult, even on a 5-on-3, for Toronto to put the puck in the zone, which is just incredible to see because you have 2 extra guys on the ice. And there were so many times where Morgan Riley or Austin Matthews is carrying the puck and Teddy Bluger isn't even letting them get past the hash marks. So look, I think the win against New York was great. I would have been petrified if they had lost, given the lineup that New York had to put out. And you also didn't have Ryan Pulak or Zdeno Chara in that. So you don't have your 2 heavy hitters to intimidate anyone. So yeah, that's my opinion on it. I don't like, it's a great win. It helps you in the standings. 2 points is 2 points, but I think the mindset of this team needs to be like consistency. And we saw last year, they were the hottest team in the NHL and it didn't lead to anything. So I really don't care that they're 5th in the league, whatever. Like I don't think that really matters. I don't think Leaf fans should really care about that because they're at a point in the franchise where you just want to win a playoff series. Like, and we've seen time and time again, just as long as you make the playoffs, like you have a shot. Like you don't need to be the number 1 seed. You don't need to be the best team in the league. We saw that with Tampa getting swept by Columbus. We saw that with Montreal going all the way to the Cup final.
Now, I mean, the Leafs, as we know, they're not very good poker players. They're never good at playing the cards that they're dealt because there's so many bumpy rides that we see throughout a season. No matter what teams they're facing, this team could be completely decimated like the Pittsburgh Penguins were earlier in the year with all their guys out and still find a way to lose. Or they can play their cards perfectly fine and beat up on these garbage teams. And I think that's what they've been doing so far. Evan, I want to ask you this, though, because you do bring up a bunch of good points. What do the Leafs have to prove to you? And I know you said from January onwards, which is obviously extremely evident because this team we haven't seen in the past at all. And playoff success is the only thing that Leafs fans are preaching for. But as of right now, Thanksgiving would be the check-in point that we're sort of focusing the show. And of course, the Toronto Maple Leafs check-in as well. What do they have to prove to you right now, or have they proved enough to you that can sort of solidify your thoughts on this team?
Well, it can't, nothing that they can prove this second, but like you just need to prove consistency. And honestly, it's just like you got to be able to you got to be able to also capitalize on your chances. I mean, I'll go back to time and time again, just games where they have guys wide open in the slot and they're just missing the net, and it's just there's no pressure on them, and they're missing the net. But it's also just consistency throughout the year. Like if your power play is 30% in November, it can't dip to 15% by March. That just you can't have it. If you want to go from 30 to 27 or 25, I don't think that's a red flag. But if your power play percentage dips by half, that's a major concern. And it's also I really they need to score more goals. I think they've only reached that 5-goal mark that one time against Buffalo. That's why their goals for is so low right now. But I mean they scored 3 against Nashville. They scored 0 against Pittsburgh. They scored 3 against New York. Like they're winning tight games, which is good come playoff time. But at the same time, if you want to compete with the big dogs in the regular season, like you're going to need to put the puck in the back of the net more. But they haven't had that issue because they're also not giving up as many goals.
It's a double-edged sword, man. Like they'll score a bunch, and then we will all be saying, well, we need tighter games. Like this is what's going to happen in playoffs. It's not going to be potting 5 goals a night. And then they start shutting it down a little bit more, play more sound defense, and they're locking games up. And we're saying, well, we need to see these guys score. What happens if they get locked up? Who's going to bring?
No, like I think that's not an issue, though. Like I don't think like I'm not viewing this as an issue. I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna beat up on a team, like if you're then beat up on a team, like
Murder them.
Yeah,
like
no,
murder them. Like if you're playing Buffalo, win 7-0 for all I care. Like don't win, and even against New York, like like half their guys are in the AHL. We're in Bridgeport. They just were eating craft dinner and got the call up. Like murder them. Like if you're winning 3-1, congrats. I want you to win 10-1.
Mm-hmm. Well, when your foot's on the neck, you got to go snap it because you're not going to get that opportunity anymore.
Yeah.
I think this is more like what a Leaf fan or a typical Leaf fan would be thinking. I've been hearing it from a bunch of my buddies back here, and social media has a good way of gauging it as well, where they're like, yeah, they're winning these close games, but we need to see these guys step up, or they're blowing teams out of the water, but let's shut it down a little bit more. So it's, again, you can't never make Leafs fans happy. That's why we're in the business. We're trying to do the impossible, which is never going to end up happening. And I want to ask Jared this question, then I want to go towards Jack Hamill because we love this guy. He's amazing. He's an amazing human, and he's playing amazing on the ice. But Jared, I want to ask you this one thing about the defensive core. I asked Evan this before. He gave me a pretty solid answer. I want to go to you as well. They're still sticking with 7 guys. Is this an issue for them? Is it something that has to be solved? Because what I believe is that once it starts coming to playoff time, and we're going to see how guys are producing down the stretch when the games get more and more meaningful, you'll see who the true stars are, and you're going to be playing your best players. I think Keith and Dubas do a good job of doing that. Do you think this is a good idea for them to just rotate and keep that 7th defenseman, or are you on Evan's side and like have to ship this guy, maybe get some assets? Because Evan, you made a great point. I've been telling a lot of people this, and I'm really happy you brought it up last week. Obviously, no one got to see it with the episode going down, but you mentioned trading off Justin Hall for draft picks because the Leafs don't have too much in Vancouver. You're just wavering a golden fruit over their head saying, listen, we got the guy you need to play with Quinn Hughes. You guys could take it, offer us what we want. And I'm sure Vancouver would take that. But Jared, what do you make of the 7th defenseman? Is it necessary, or do we need to see it go any further?
It's a very interesting question because I think it's not something that necessarily needs to happen now. It's not an urgent thing. It's still November. They're still kind of figuring things out. But I think Dubas definitely needs to start kind of picking up the phone. As Evan was saying, like if they are going to trade one guy, I would like it to be Justin Hall. However, I'm still in the middle on whether they need to urgently make a trade because my big fear is that we make a trade and then someone gets injured and then, oh shit, we're scrambling to call up a guy from the minor league. So I'm not saying they need to ship out Justin Hall right now. However, Dubas definitely needs to start keeping his options open. He needs to start calling other GMs, seeing kind of how the market's doing, talking to a team like Vancouver or another struggling team that is in need of a defenseman. And it's definitely something where Dubas needs to kind of keep the options open, needs to start talking to other teams. However, I don't think it's something that needs to happen. Like, it's not something that I'm like, come Saturday, we need Justin Hall traded or these issues. Like, it's not something I'm panicking about. It's kind of, I don't like the fact that they're scratching guys like Sandine and Lilligren. So that isn't something I like to see because, as you mentioned, development is a very important thing for those players. But ultimately, right now, what we're trying to do is getting the best lineup onto the ice that is going to give us the best chance to win. That's what I believe they're kind of trying to do right now by scratching and rotating things. They're kind of trying to figure out what gives us the best possible chance at success, what gives us the best possible lineup. So I think I'm happy that Dubas at this time of year is kind of feeling things out, playing things around. Again, needs to keep the phone line open, needs to start talking to GMs, but I don't think it's anything that instantly needs to happen. It's kind of just as the weeks move on, let's kind of keep updating it, keep calling, keep checking in, see what the market's looking like. And if the trade is there, if the opportunity is there, then maybe you consider flipping a guy like Hall.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a happy problem for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Like, you got that extra guy. And again, we've run into the situation so many times where we need a guy to back a guy up one night because some dude goes out getting injured and we don't have a reliable defenseman. How many times do you remember getting Martin Marincin called up to the table and him trying to run it out with the big boys? And he couldn't do it whatsoever. That's when the Leafs were getting stuck, and you would see the losses pile up more up and up and up as the games went by with this guy in the lineup. So I think it's a better thing for the Leafs to have the seventh defenseman than to have the sixth and worry about a guy who you can't call up. But again, it is no problem at all for Dubas to start getting the phones going, keep the tab open, because you got some assets here and you got some teams where you could punch them right in the gut right now, get some good value for these guys, more value than you would at any time around the year. And I think you want to say something, Evan, just jump in, man.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't want to interrupt like your sentence. I was just saying, like, once you're done, but now that Jared has spoken, like, I think, like, if you want to keep Justin Hall, I agree with that. I don't think you need to put him in the lineup as frequently as they are because it's messing with their chemistry. And I don't really like the idea of a team saying by February and March, okay, now it's the time to bench someone, because by then everyone's figured their shit out. Like, they know what works and what doesn't. And I just think February and March is too late to say, okay, you know what, Travis Dermott, you're shut down for the rest of the year, basically. Or, you know what, Justin Hall, you're shut down for the rest of the year. I kind of think that needs to happen now. That's how teams build chemistry. It starts in the off season and it prolongs until they're eliminated from playoffs. So I think if you're the Leafs, it's like, you want to play Justin Hall here and there, fine. But it needs to be once every 5 or 7 games. It can't be Hall plays one night, Dermott plays another, Hall plays one night. It can't be that. You can't have that. It's not gonna work.
Yeah, and again, beating me to the gun, the chemistry part of it. And Jared, if you want to add right now before I go on a little bit more.
Yeah, I completely agree with Evan's point there. I think, like, I exactly agree with what he's saying. However, the issue with scratching him is he makes $2 million, and you can't have a $2 million guy sitting on the bench every night.
Who says so?
Why not?
Who says that?
Like, because we're a team that's very close to the cap. I don't think it's a good idea to be wasting $2 million that we can better.
Okay, then if that's your thought process, then trade him. Like, if that's your thought process, then you got to trade him.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He's the odd one out. If we're gonna make a trade,
no. But I'm saying, like, if your thought process is, like, let's say, for example, the same as Kyle Dubas's, your two options are you buy him out or you trade him. Because if that's what you're thinking, then he's got to go. Like, you can't do that then, because it's not your defense needs to have
talent, right?
Yeah, your defense needs to have the best chemistry on your team in order to win. Like, they need to be in sync in order for, because then your goalie plays better and then the offense is more confident. If that's he's gone. Like, he has to be gone.
No, I agree. If you're getting rid of anyone, it is Justin Hall. It has to be. And I'm just saying, my one hesitant factor about trading him right now is always that what if factor of what if there's an injury, then it's a bad situation to have, where right now we have 7 guys that we're at least somewhat confident in playing. As soon as someone goes down and we do end up trading Hall, then it's a scramble to find someone from the Marlies. So it's just kind of a fear that's in the back of my head if we start talking about trading people. However, I absolutely agree. You don't want to loaf on that decision. You do want to kind of do it. I don't want to say as soon as possible because it's not something that's urgent, but you do definitely want to start calling, figuring out what the market's like. I agree with your point. I'm not disagreeing with that. I think it's something that you want to look at doing. It's better now than doing it in February. So I agree. I'm just saying it is something in the back of my head. If you scratch him, it's a waste of money. If you trade him, what if someone gets injured? There's always pros and cons to everything, but That's kind of my mindset there.
What I love about it, what you guys are saying, it's just that you're bringing up not the exact same thing, but these are both things that are going to have the exact same effect. Like you're going to have the chemistry still do well if you're keeping a guy in there instead of another one, because if you're keeping a $2 million guy on the waiver, sorry, not the waiver wire, the healthy, if you're keeping a $2 million healthy scratch, that's not something you want. You can get assets for that. You don't want to have a $2 million guy sitting there. But at the same time, if a guy goes down, it's like basically calling up a guy and throwing a rusty wrench in a clean piece of glass. You're going to ruin the entire thing. And I think those are just the two problems that the Leafs would have to face no matter which way they go. They're either damned if they do and damned if they don't. If they play their cards right, I think they'll come out on the other end pretty darn successful. I don't know. It's just something, again, minor problem. This really doesn't mean we shouldn't be having a huge entire argument on it. There's just possible scenarios where the Kyle Dubas could do this, Kyle Dubas could do that. It doesn't really matter as long as the chemistry by that time of the year is steady and this team is putting up wins in their back pocket. So I think I don't want to spend too much time on that, because I think we're just beating the dead horse and reiterating the same point, because whichever way you cut it, there's just consistency there, it's everywhere. So I think I want to move a little bit more on that. I wanted to really get into Jack Campbell. I love the guy. I think he's going to come up a little bit more later in the show, if I'm being quite honest with you, and I'll make sure I don't forget about him. But on the interest of time, I want to move on from the Leafs to these California teams. And just because the Leafs are on this California trip, I want to get your guys' thoughts just on one thing. What is one thing that the Maple Leafs have to do to maybe please yourself by the end of this California trip? Because last time, if you remember correctly, and this was right before COVID, if you remember, the Maple Leafs went on their California trip. They went 0-2-1. It was not a pleasant one at all. And there was a lot of stinkers in that one, a lot of games that they should have won, and they didn't end up coming on the right side of the track. So what do you guys want to see from this team come? I guess this would be over Sunday night. Evan's at the game Sunday night, watching the Leafs Ducks. What do you want to say after that game, Evan, with this Maple Leafs team, and say, man, these guys really did a good job? What did they do to get there?
Well, I think, first of all, I think they need to play a tight game. Like, I really like how LA's playing, and I really like how their goaltending's playing. I know it's not going to keep up for the rest of the year, just because I saw last year, too, that Jonathan Quick had those spurts. I do believe in Cal Peterson, though, but I just want the Leafs to play a tight game, and I also just want the oh my God, what was I going to say? The offense to really come alive. I think just having a road trip and having the camaraderie of your teammates, and not like constantly going back to your houses. Now you're going back to the hotel where everyone's at, just building chemistry there. In terms of that game with San Jose, you better pistol whip them, because they are hot trash right now. And that's what I'm saying. Beat up on the bad teams. Like if they don't win 5-1 or 5-0, whatever. With the Ducks, I just want to hope they keep up, because the Ducks have a lot of young legs. They have Trevor Zegras. They just sent down Mason McTavish, but they have Troy Terry. Ryan Getzlaf doesn't look a day over 25 the way this dude's been passing the puck. Cam Fowler's really come alive defensively. John Gibson, check the scouting report. That dude's always been incredible. He'll be playing for Team USA in Beijing. No
Really?
questions asked about that. So just with, the Ducks, keep up with the young skaters. San Jose, you better stomp them. And with LA, just have fun, I guess. Don't beat them.
Don't party too hard in LA is the best question. But again, that LA game's gonna be coming up tonight. By the time you guys see this video, it'll already have happened. So
I wanted to $25 to the game.
20, man, Jesus Christ! Like it's ridiculous what they do down there, man. Tickets are extremely cheap. You can go watch a Leafs Kings game down here, man. You were at it. You didn't get to buy the ticket, but the tickets were, I could tell you how much they were going for. It was ridiculous. So
they were a lot.
Tickets down there are obviously cheaper. Tickets anywhere south of Toronto are obviously cheaper. But I want to get your thoughts as well, Jared. What's the one thing that you want to pull by the end of this road trip?
I mean, in the regular season, I don't need to see us dominate, but I need to see us win, and win convincingly. I don't care if it's a 7-1 game, but I don't want, we just had the worst second period of our season. Like I want convincing periods. I want us shutting the other teams down. And as much as I'm saying I don't need us running up the score, I want us to win games where we're not scared at the end. Oh shit, are we gonna blow this? I want, even if it is a 4-2 hockey game, I don't want spurts at the end where the teams are crawling back in. I want just convincing games where we look like the better team all the way through, because we are better teams than Anaheim, LA, and San Jose. I'm going to say that we're better teams than them through and through, in my opinion. And we need to play like that. Again, sometimes you aren't going to win a game 7-1. So I don't need to see us absolutely shit kick like that. But I need to see us play like the better team because we are, in fact, the better team. I don't want spurts at the end. I don't want to be scared that, oh shit, we're going to give up 3 goals in the third period and blow a game against the Sharks. Like I just want us to play a convincing hockey game. We don't need to do anything special. Just win your game and play a good, consistent 60-minute hockey game. That's what I want to see.
Damo, what about you?
Sweep them. Shit on
Sweep.
them. Yeah. LA. We got shit kicked by them. They kicked our ass. That was the 5-1 game, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
They beat us 5-1. Get revenge. Who do we have to play
At
after
home
that?
too, which is not a good thing.
San Jose. We played one of our worst games of the season, if you guys remember that. It was, I think, a 5-3 loss. Go beat them. We go play Anaheim on Sunday. Hey, Jack, you want to play for USA? Go get a shutout.
Ooh, yo, I didn't even think of that.
Go do it.
Gibson versus Campbell.
Go prove it. You've been the best goalie in the NHL this year. I'll say it. He's been the best goalie in the NHL this year. That should be unanimous. Go prove it. Like, we're notoriously not the greatest on the California road trip, and let's change that narrative. Let's go. And these are bad teams too. It's not like the 2010s where like the friggin' Ducks, Sharks, and Kings were like top 5 teams. These are like not playoff teams. I don't care what the Ducks have been great, but the Ducks probably aren't going to make the playoffs if we're.
Their ceiling's a wild card.
They're coming back down to earth. You can tell they're coming back down to earth. You know, Troy Terry isn't the second coming of Christ as much as we all believe it. But yeah, that's what I want to see. I want to see them sweep the California trip.
And one thing I want to see before I transition, because you probably propelled me the best segue possible to get into these California teams. But what I want to see from this team is just don't get caught off guard when you're facing these kind of guys. Because again, I know they're on the downtrend, and even the Anaheim Ducks, they've been terrific this year, but they're starting to slowly decline. I know this team's not going to be the same makeup, and the same pieces aren't going to be producing at the same amount in February, March, April. This team is not going to be the same. I don't care. I know these guys are going to fade, but these guys aren't fading right now. They're still decently strong. So don't get caught off guard because they can beat you in a number of ways. John Gibson can easily pitch a shutout, and there goes your night. So just stay on the course, dominate them, but also don't get caught off guard and have a horrible first period and you're getting outshot 12-0. Because again, we've seen this from this Maple Leafs team historically in this California road trip. Let's not see it happen this time. And what I want to see with these these California teams is your thoughts on these California teams, because you got the San Jose Sharks 9-8-1 sitting 20th overall in the league, LA 8-7-3 sitting 21st just behind them in the league, and Anaheim Ducks 10-6-3. Did not think they'd be sitting top 10 in the league at Thanksgiving, but here we are. Evan, I'm going to start with you because you got the best insight on these group of teams. Which one do you see is likely going to fade? Is it all of them that are likely going to fade? And what has been the biggest surprise and flaw from each of these teams?
Yeah, I think they're all going to fade. I think the team that has the highest chance of making the playoffs is the Anaheim Ducks, and that's just because I trust their goaltending the most. I trust Jack Campbell more than I trust Jonathan Quick, and Cal Pearson's been great, but I think he just needs a little bit more time, and he also just needs a better team in front of him. Like it's rough. And then the goaltending situation, James Reimer's been unfreaking believable. I'd say that's my biggest surprise in San Jose is that he has like a .950 save percentage, and I think he's like 5-3. So he's definitely been the bright spot in San Jose. I just think they're all gonna fade. You know, like it's just about consistency, and of course, like great, you're good in November. Don't matter. Like no one really cares. Like no player really cares about their record in November. And so the highest ceiling would be the second wild card spot for Anaheim. I'd say that's as high as any California team goes, just because I think, Nashville's been looking great, and it looks like Matt Duchene's coming alive again. So I just think, I definitely think they'll be the bottom feeders again. I hope they are, because I think the Kings are just in that rebuild phase, and so are the San Jose Sharks. And the Ducks could definitely use another young gun here and there. But if you like, as my dad says, if you're going to be crap, be crap. Like, if you're going to fade out, be a bottom feeder. So then you have a higher chance. Like, you never want to be like 18th in the league, where then you have like a 10th overall or 15th overall pick. So I hope if they do fade the hell out.
It's the Twilight Zone, man. I absolutely agree with your dad's point. Like, if you're sitting between, I'd say 20 to 32, no, sorry, 20 to 25, 28. If you're sitting around there, there's no business for you playing the game. Let's just really sit down and tank. Like, there's no reason for you to just go through games and try to keep a fan base, try to not keep a fan base. Just pick one side or the other. And we've seen this bite teams in the butt throughout the past couple of seasons. Jared, I'll throw it over to you. What is a biggest surprise and flaw you see from one of these California teams? And I think Evan covered the San Jose Sharks. I want to turn it over to the LA Kings.
In general, I'm just going to say the question of which team do you think is going to slip. I think the answer, as Evan said, is all of them. I don't have a lot of faith in these teams. I do think they're going to end up slipping. Good for them right now that they're doing well, at least in the case of the Ducks. But it's kind of becoming evident that all of them are slipping a little bit. The Ducks have lost 2 in a row. The Kings have lost 4 in a row. And the Sharks, as much as they won their last game, they just aren't a very hot team at all. They're 9-8-1, so they're pretty close to 500. So in general, I'm not a big fan of any of these teams, but that's how it was expected to be going into the year. I mean, we expect these teams to be rebuilders. We expect them to be in the hunt for not for Jack Hughes, in the hunt for Shane Wright. They're pretty bad teams overall, and as much as they've had fairly good starts, I do think they're all going to slowly come back down to earth. In the case of the Kings, I mean, they've had their hot streak. I know they won, what was it, 4 or 5 in a row, or I know when they beat the Leafs, it was them winning 5 in a row, and they ended our 5-game winning streak.
I think they were like 7-0 before it got snapped.
7.
Okay. So yeah, so they had a very hot streak. To be honest, I mean, I'm not exactly so up to date with why the reason that was, who was exactly clicking there. I think Evan would have a better answer for that. I don't watch a lot of Kings.
Everyone was doing their part, and Jonathan Quick was playing like Vezina Quick.
Yeah, exactly. So everyone was kind of clicking there. They had their big winning streak. But since then, the fact that they've lost 4 in a row, it kind of shows that they had a bit of a hot streak, and it's very quickly gone back down to earth. And now they're playing more like we expected them to be going into the year. So again, I don't have a lot of major insight on the Kings, but just they had a hot streak, and it's over now, and they're back to kind of what we expected them to be.
And I think we got a lot of news from them. Tried to live in the high that is the California teams, but I just don't think it's going to pan out. Anaheim Ducks, I think we've all been saying this. I think we would all agree that they're probably the most complete team to maybe make, not a run in the playoffs, but maybe get there, because you mentioned, Evan, a bunch of teams in the Central are heating up. Nashville Predators, Duchesne is finally getting a fire lit under him. He's sort of trying to put the pieces together of what he was once before. These other teams are heating up. Hopefully the Anaheim Ducks can keep it up, but the LA Kings and the San Jose Sharks, I don't think they got the entire toolbox, every tool in that box to keep up with these Giants. Adam, I don't know if I want to turn it over to you. Do you have anything to say about the California teams? If not, we can move it over to my favorite segment of the show, but do you got anything quickly to add about either the Sharks, Kings, or the Ducks?
Not really, because I'm so excited for the Jersey segment too, because I'm a Jersey guy. But like a little quick thing. Ryan Getzlaf leads the NHL in assists, and I know you're saying no, he doesn't. Connor McDavid does. I mean the actual NHL, because he doesn't count. So shout out to him. He doesn't count. Like, come on, there's no way McDavid can count. He's been unreal.
This is like so off topic, or not off topic, but like we should have like a separate segment, like 20-25 minutes of like fantasy. Should Connor McDavid be allowed in?
We did last week, man.
Shouldn't. Oh, did we? Oh,
yeah, we did.
Well, we talked like a little bit about it, but I'm saying
bit.
Like a straight pod, like just straight about like, should these guys be allowed in fantasy, and just have yes or no.
We'll throw out an episode around now.
Next time, because
very deserved.
We got some stuff to talk about.
Oh, this is awesome, man. I love this segment. I think it's going to be one of the only times I get to talk about it, because it's rare you see a bunch of jerseys dropping. Last year we got the reverse retros. There was a lot of good ones out of them. There's some bad ones. It could be quite often. The LA Kings, I'm shopping, man. I want one so bad. It's hard to find for a decent price.
Dude, Jared, my dad and I are going on DHgate to buy reverse retro jerseys for the Kings.
Shout out DHgate. I love DHgate.
No, yeah, he was like, wait, those jerseys were fake, and I'm like, yeah, and he's like, all right, we're buying.
No, they're genuinely, well, how the website works is it's people that are just stellar. So obviously you could get some scumbag that releases a shitty jersey, but at least the ones that I've gotten off that website have all been very good quality. Like it has like the shiny logo, like what the real NHL one has. Like all of mine have been good quality fakes.
I gotta check
Not
that out,
a
man.
paid, not a
Yeah, you
paid
gotta go on it.
sponsorship.
Yeah,
Or-
wait, no free ads.
No
or
free
Cut
ads.
that out,
over to,
Mario. No free ads.
Come over to Pro Hockey Life.
That's
where I
our
work.
shop, man.
No free ads.
No, it's
no
because
free
we
ads.
we actually
Clearance.
have our last year's jerseys are on clearance, like authentic ones for
Mario, mute him. No
80
free
bucks.
ads today. No free ads.
Oops.
He's plugging. He's
Yeah,
plugging.
no free ads. Yeah,
No free ads.
I don't
Couple
make commission.
Swipe ups.
The hell? Yeah, if I made commission, then yeah, come on over. But
Couple promo codes.
yeah, I actually fun story about PHL. I don't know if I'm kind of stealing your
ahead,
segue
go
here,
ahead.
but I'm gonna segue into the Canada jerseys. Can we start with those?
Of course.
I actually saw them before they released. Yeah, it was
Whoa.
pretty like I could have been one of those guys that like took a picture and posted to social media and be like, breaking Olympic jerseys leaked.
And then the
But I didn't
FBI's on a
because
demo.
I value my job, so I didn't. But
What a
when I
professional.
saw them, when I saw the black ones, I was like, the first thing that came to my head was people are going to be fuming, and lo and behold, they are. The white ones they're gorgeous.
I like the white
want
ones.
a white
I
one.
like
I want a
Those
white
ones
one.
are
I think
they're
those are my favorite.
clean. They're
I think
so
I think the whites are
clean.
my favorite. And even if you see them in real life, like I tweeted it again, they don't do the pictures that they posted don't do the actual jerseys justice. I think the jerseys will look better on people versus like the black. I'm not a fan. Like I know I'm very, very like contradicting because I have a black jersey like right there. I don't like how Canada sports are going this deep into black. You know, like that those black jerseys are black with black pants, black gloves, black helmet with a black maple leaf. That is my least favorite thing. And like 2 red stripes. That's just not Canada to me. I hope they don't use that one often. I'm cool with black as like a third jersey, like okay, every couple years here, throw you a bone. Here's a black jersey, but we're Canada, we're red. I don't mind that, but I don't like even the soccer teams doing it too. I don't know if you guys have seen where it's just a black T-shirt with a little.
I didn't know
soccer-
Canada was playing. I thought Canada
Yeah.
when they faced Mexico, I thought Canada was genuinely the white team.
Yeah,
And my dad's like,
'cause-
well, why are they like this? I'm like, oh, okay. This is
Yeah,
actually Canada.
it's weird that Canada's becoming a like I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a fan. But in terms of the jersey itself, the reds are cool. If we're going, you guys want to give them like ratings?
You want to go for a rating, man? Go ahead.
Yeah,
Like,
let's do let's do it with our with the jerseys that Mario was bringing up. Like let's
Like the USA ones too. I have an opinion on those. The whites.
Evan,
we'll
only
go-
Evan gets to talk about those. You guys
we'll
can't
go
disrespect them.
White Canadas. I'll give
that's
like
that's
9.
an 8. That's if we're going A to Z, A to
All
F.
grades. Yeah, I'll give.
You want
I'll
to go
give
to
an
F? Yeah, that thing's
Yeah.
deserving.
A. Definitely A for the
God,
whites.
they look so
You
bad.
shoot me the
The
text.
whites.
No,
No,
Canada
not
ones?
the whites, but just like God, like you could have done so like they've had. To be honest, like USA has done really well on their
not
jerseys in the past.
We're talking about. We're talking
Oh,
about
we're talking
Canada.
about Canada.
Yeah,
let's
the Canada
let's
whites.
stick
I thought
to
you were saying
one
the
and then
whites of
we'll
the
go to
US.
each other
Or I
one.
thought you were talking about the whites for the US.
No, white Canada.
Oh, the
ones.
whites for Canada. Those
Oh.
are fire. No, those are
Yeah.
fire. The
That
white
was
and the
easy,
red.
eh?
I'm not a huge fan of the black, but I like the white and the red.
Yeah,
ones.
black. I think is a fail. I hope I never see that
I
ever again.
hope they don't wear them, but I have a feeling they're going to wear them for like the championship game.
Oh, that'll be brutal. Like, can you
I don't think they
imagine?
can. I think they have to go red. I think it's like a legit
you have
historic
to.
thing. Like they're
No,
not
I don't
allowed
think you
to.
have. I don't think you have to.
Because dude, they wore black for like with the whatever tournament like
They
the
did wear black. You're
U18s.
right for the
World
juniors.
yeah.
And
I know
think
Olympics they never
didn't
did.
Crosby score his golden goal in white.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
White.
white.
It's either white or
Yeah,
But
red.
that's
They'll
different because they
never-
were
Oh, yeah.
away.
They were
Yeah,
in
well,
Vancouver.
No, it was in Vancouver.
Vancouver.
But weren't they the road team in that?
Oh yeah, probably.
In that game though, USA had the better record in that.
I don't remember. I was 7. The Reds are cool though. I give the Reds like a B. I think. Is that harsh?
No,
'Cause again, it's
I
the
think that's
fucking the
valid.
black maple leaf. Why is the maple leaf black?
No,
That shit
that's
looks
what
like
I
a dead
don't like.
maple leaf.
I don't like that the maple leaf is black. Like I feel like that's almost like disrespectful. Like I feel like
Yeah.
it has to be either white or red.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking
It
too.
pops out too much. Like it's just you got the nice red jersey, then just a black
Yeah.
maple.
And
Like,
like black
I don't.
stripes.
It
You know?
doesn't look like very. I don't know. I wasn't a fan of it. Like I just like the
No.
white because it's like the classic. Like I think they were trying to do too much.
Can you imagine it was white? Like imagine in these jersey concepts if they just replaced black with white. I think it looks so much cleaner.
Well, like damn it, like the jersey you have behind you, the Canada one, that one's clean. Because
Yeah.
I think if you have a red maple leaf, it's better rather than having a
Yeah.
black one.
Like I said, I don't mind black jerseys. I think black jerseys are nice because black goes with anything. But like the black on black logo, it's just not for me.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that one either.
Well, one thing I do know is that Adamo, you're shooting me a text when you get the white Canada jersey in stock because I'm jumping on that one. That's
where I saw them. I saw them at the back. I was like, oh, these I've never seen before. I turned to my manager. I'm like, are these the Olympic jerseys? He's like, yeah, not a word. So
we're taking a drive, man. I'm going down there.
And then Adamo goes, yeah, not a word.
No, I didn't. Do
no,
that.
wait, no. This is what Adamo does. He goes, one second.
The camera. No, I didn't do that.
He goes, not yet. No.
No, I didn't do that.
Anyways, Adamo, you're a man of your word. I respect it. Job comes first. Hockey comes second. But Jared, what about you, man? What do you think of the Canada jerseys? From I guess like A to F grade on the black, the red, and the beautiful white. I think you got to agree with the beautiful white. No,
Jared, you're muted, Bello.
You're muted, Jared.
No.
His mic.
Oh, is it
mic?
It's happening.
Oh, 1 second.
Evan, you wanna? Jared's. Yeah, Jared's.
Oh, we're back. You're back.
Oh, you're back.
Literally, I just have to unplug and plug it back in. I don't know why it does that, but whatever.
Not very professional.
I didn't mean to. More professional than deleting the podcast.
Oh, it came out.
Well done.
All right, Jared. You know what? You lost your bed.
Done.
You can sleep in the dog's bed now tonight. When
you can sleep in your
What's
bed.
called?
There's nothing.
Sorry,
you can
what
do
I was gonna
about
say. Red and white is Canada, so of course that's a beautiful jersey. I love the red and white, and then the rest, I don't know what the hell they're doing. I probably am gonna give the white one an A. Maybe not an A plus. Like I would have liked if they did red across the top. I kind of find it a little bit weird that it's just red on the shoulder, red on the shoulder. So that's probably gonna dock it from what would have been an A plus to I'll give it like an A or an A minus. It's a great jersey though. And then I don't know what the hell they did assignment number 1 and they killed it, and then they forgot about the other two. So
I'd argue
I'm not a fan of the
killed
black
assignment number 3.
Oh yeah, they completely forgot assignment number 3. I don't know what the hell. It reminds me of Team North America's, but at least do a red.
Dude, Team North America's were clean.
Those were clean.
No, but it reminds me of that in the sense that it's a black jersey, but like why the black logo too?
Yeah.
That just you can't see it. Like you're gonna see that on TV and not know what the hell you're looking at.
True.
That's a weird one. It reminds me a lot of that actually, the San Jose one from a few years ago. What did they call it? They had some kind of name.
It had a name, yeah. I can't remember.
It was like the dark something, I don't know, whatever. That one was cool, but I'm not a fan of it for a Canada one. Like it's you're representing your country in the Olympics. I don't think that's the time to be creative and try out new colors that aren't Canada. Canada's red and white. That's our flag. Why are we throwing black in it? That's kind of my opinion there. So I'm gonna give the red one. I completely agree. If it were to have been a white logo, it would have been a lot higher because it's not a bad jersey design. But with that black logo with the black striping, I'm probably gonna give it a C. I'm not a fan of it. And then the black one, yeah, you're looking at a D minus or an F. That is not great at all.
You know, the more I look at the red one, I just pulled it up, the less I like it as a whole uniform because there's like zero white in it. Like it's almost like they took Canada's flag instead. You know, like the white part at the back. No, that's black now. Like I'm not a fan.
Yeah, this one's gonna hurt to say a little bit. The black one's a little bit growing on me, but I don't think I'm ever buying that.
I think it's
growing, but it's not.
I was thinking about this because I knew we were going to talk about it on the podcast. I remember the point I was going to make. I think the black jersey is gorgeous if it wasn't Team Canada's jersey.
Agreed.
Like that's not Team Canada's jersey. That could be I don't know who's black, the friggin' New Jersey Devils. I don't know if we'll be getting into that. Yeah, that could be like a New Jersey Devils jersey because of the black and red, but that's not Team Canada's jersey. you know, we don't black maple leaf. It, like Jared said, it almost feels disrespectful.
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking. I mean, the jersey itself is cool. I loved the Team North America jersey, and I loved that San Jose jersey. Then when they did kind of a black again, they had some kind of name for it. When they did like a black, I'm not gonna say throwback, but they did some kind of spin-off jersey, whatever. Black on jerseys is cool, and the black logo kind of makes it blend in. It's a cool design. Why for Team Canada? Why for the Olympics? And I don't know if I'm gonna use the word disrespectful. I don't think it's something that's like disrespecting the flag, but it's like it's just weird. It's not what Canada is. I'm not turning on a game and being like, oh, Canada's the black team. As Mario said,
And all black too.
He found that with the soccer, where it was like, why is Canada wearing black? It's gonna be the same thing if I'm watching a game, like a Canada hockey game, and I'm seeing this black team skate around. Yeah, that's the country representing that red and white flag. Why?
Yeah,
it's just kind of weird. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I think. Well, first, I want to do this. If guys are listening and tuning in, go in the comments, check it out and see. I want to hear your thoughts because we've been getting a lot of uproar from social media. I've been seeing it on Twitter, Instagram, you name it. I want to see what the YouTube world is saying. So please, just while you're there, like the video, subscribe to us if you're not subscribed, and please just take the second to comment. And I want to really hear your guys' thoughts because it's a great debate. I love jerseys. These guys all love jerseys. They're passionate about what they're seeing put on the ice and put in front of them.
Yes.
So I think we need to see what the popular majority opinion is. See if we're crazy, because I know I'm crazy. And I don't know, Evan. I know Evan's a little crazy. Evan, are you crazy enough to actually like those USA jerseys though?
No, I really don't like them. I feel like they're a dud. Like I really liked the World Junior ones. Those ones are pretty cool. Like we're just USA like across the chest. I don't know. I felt like they obviously like you got to change it up because if you walk out with the same jersey, like although it's every 4 years, like the whole part of the Olympics is to see like your creativity towards your team. And you know what? I think they tried their best to emulate something a little bit different. I don't think it came out as well, in my opinion. But then again, like I'm not the one making the final decisions. But just in my opinion, I don't really like it, but it's not going to like stop me from watching the success of Team USA. Yeah. Like as much as I love jerseys, I don't really care enough to be like, oh, they're wearing these jerseys.
Yeah.
Ain't watching that game tonight. Like I don't care. Like I'm not going to start a riot here, but not the best in my opinion, but I understand like it's kind of like the Blackhawks in the Winter Classic. Like at some point you're going to run out of options here.
Fair. I actually like to Evan's point where he said I'm not going to turn on the he's like I'm not going to turn off a jersey turn off a game because the jerseys suck. I will turn on a game because the jerseys are nice. I've done like last
it's the year, opposite. The opposite is true. Yes.
Last year I made sure to watch a little bit of the Arizona's first versus retro game just because at the time I had a jersey and I wanted to see what
true. Like I agree with the same thing. I'm just saying like when they wear their new jerseys for the first time, I'll turn it on for like 30-40 seconds just to see what they look like, and then I'll be like, oh, cool, and then turn it off. But sometimes the jerseys look better in person than they do on TV.
True.
What about you, Jared? What do you got on these USA jerseys?
I don't think it looks like a hockey jersey. I
disrespect the country. I won't let you in.
Do short sleeves, and that's a soccer jersey. That is not a hockey jersey, in my opinion. I don't know that was my first opinion when I looked at it. I'm like, that to me, it just looks weird. Maybe it's the way the picture was taken, the angle it's taken, the one that leaked, or not leaked, but the one that was kind of announced. It to me looks like a soccer jersey. It doesn't have an actual logo. It's just kind of USA across the middle. I just think it's weird. I don't like it at all. And it's not like a not liking USA things because I've loved a lot of USA's jerseys. I think they've had some of the nicest jerseys at like international competitions in the past few years. But no, this one doesn't do it for me at all. None of them. There's not really of the three I'm looking at it right now. Of the three, the white one's my favorite, but it's not by a lot. Like it's.
No, the white one is my favorite, but like it's so hard to have a favorite.
Yeah, like none of them do it for me at all. I'm really not a fan of these jerseys. I think they dropped the ball, and I think with like such an iconic flag and like the red, white, and blue, I think there's so much they could have done with it, and I'm just pretty not a fan of what they did with this logo or what they did with this jersey.
I agree.
I found myself in the same boat where I'm choosing the best of the worst. It's like politics. You're choosing the best. You're voting for the best of the worst of those group of politicians. And I don't know. These jerseys struck a similar chord, but I don't know. I think that's all I want to say. I want to go to you, Adamo. I know I'm going to skip you on the U.S. ones, but I want to start with you on these New Jersey ones because I think out of all these jerseys, these ones have
Do you
been
guys want
wreaking
to? Have you guys seen the
havoc.
Finland ones? I don't know if you
Finland ones
want
are
to.
nice. Finland's are nice. Those
Yeah,
those are clean.
I did want to say Finland. Those are one of the nicest jerseys I've ever seen.
Those are
Like
clean.
Olympic jerseys. Those are gorgeous. I don't know if you guys like have seen it, but I don't know. I like no disrespect to Finland, but I don't know what that thing is in the middle, but it's fucking cool. It's like
Yeah.
a lion holding a sword with a crown, and it's like blue. Oh, it's so cool. It's so cool. But yeah, continue.
No, what do you make of the Devils
Oh,
jerseys?
the
And
new
before
the Devils.
I'm going to introduce them and then I'll turn it to you. So the New Jersey Devils, they released their first ever black alternate jersey. I don't know if it was their first ever alternate or black one. I know it was something along those lines in
Alternate.
franchise history. Yeah, first alternate in franchise history. And they have 21 stripes. It's to honor the 21 counties to make up New Jersey. And the laces are a reference to their best goaltender in history, Mark Brodeur, who I also do want to add was the mastermind behind these the things they're putting out there. I think Brodeur had a terrific career on the ice. Off the ice, it's not looking too good. Do you got what do you think of these jerseys, Adamo?
You mean the New Jersey, New Jersey jerseys, as I called them?
The New Jerseys.
The New Jersey jerseys. Like
You're confusing me. Can you just speak
intentionally? Yes. They're
I've been up too late.
I honestly, they kind of give me basketball vibes just because I don't know if you guys have seen like the NBA does city jerseys or used to do city jerseys. I don't know if they're doing them this year, but like they'll have the text across and it'll be like the I guess nickname. I know I think
Garden State. It would have fit
Yeah.
beautifully on that bad boy.
Oh my god, it'd be so cool. So I guess they went with Jersey on the jersey. The rest of the jerseys, whatever. Like it's black with some white stripes. Like it's nothing. It's not awful, but it's not great. The text is cool. I don't know if you guys saw it. Did you guys see the stuff they've been posting about the hat that says hat on it?
Yep.
I like that they're leaning into it. That's one thing I gotta say. Well done to the Devils for just I don't think I'd get myself one of those jerseys.
One
How
of
about you
those
guys?
jerseys.
Yeah.
What about you,
They
Jared?
are.
No, I'm not a fan of it. I think there's a lot of like I'm looking at here the way they announced it is they had a lot of details and what each thing's representing. There was a lot of thought put into the jersey, so I can't criticize that. But at the end of the day, you have to make the jersey look nice. Like I don't care if there's a lot of crazy symbolism in the amount of lines you do if the jersey itself isn't a good jersey, and it's just not. And yeah, I'm a big jersey guy. I collect a lot of jerseys, and this is not one I'm eager to add to my collection whatsoever. The striping and the stuff like that, like it's cool. I was gonna say it's something different, but then I popped into my head that Blackhawks had a jersey that looked a lot like this, like a Winter Classic jersey from a few years ago. So I guess not quite as original as I initially was about to say. But still, it's not the type of jersey you'll see every day, so like it's cool, the striping wise. But then that logo, just jersey. I'm not a fan of like handwritten jerseys. Sorry, handwritten logos. Like I prefer an actual crest. I had the same opinion with that Jets one they had a few years ago, where it just kind of said Jets across the middle. The color was cool, but it's like
that one's so cool.
I wore it to Shinny on Friday.
That's what you're
I'm not a big fan. I don't know. I don't like
Interesting.
that
Really?
for a logo. I just think it's not a logo. It's just kind of handwritten. And it's for the same reason, like you look at the New York Rangers, that isn't a jersey that I love because it's like it's just kind of writing across the middle. I want to see an actual cool crest, and it's just they don't have that. It just says jersey across the middle, which isn't something that I'm a fan of. And I just wanted to mention because I was searching it up so I could kind of be referencing it while I speak, and I see like a concept image of what a black New Jersey Devils jersey could have looked like. And it's really cool. Like it's their actual home jersey, but it's just like a red logo with black around it. That is a sick jersey. It's obviously from a few years ago because it has Taylor Hall on it, but it's I wish I could share the screen. but yeah, like I'm looking at some concept of what the jersey would have looked like if they kept their current jersey but flipped the colors around. It almost seems like a reverse retro, where it's red logo, black like in the middle, and then red stripes inside. That is a awesome jersey. I wish they would have done something like that as opposed to just kind of writing jersey across the middle. That I don't think it's cool at all.
Well, it's kind of like what I said about the Canada jersey, right? Like it looks like the Canada jersey looks like it could be a New Jersey Devils like alternate, just because of it's got the black and it's got the red. It's pretty simple with red stripes, and you got the black like you wanted to. You know, I'm just not a fan of the jersey. The jersey.
It's getting way too confusing.
You gotta put pants on the pants, socks on the socks, skates on the skates.
Yeah.
Evan, what
Lean
about
into
you? What do you got on this? What's your stance
I'll make
here?
it short and brief. They're fucking ugly.
Fair.
Like,
That's
congratulations, Marty Broder. You found the one thing you couldn't do.
Well, I think he was he was like an assistant GM at one point, or is he still?
He's
still might be,
within the
actually.
office. He was with it.
Like, he's
in
within the
years as well.
organization. I'm just not like, I understand the concepts and all that, but the jersey itself seems very dull.
Yeah, like leave the. You know what I hate? I hate that these big corporations have to design jerseys. There are so many. I don't know if you guys follow like on Instagram, like some, like, or even like I'll see it on Twitter, like jersey concepts from these like literally sport media students. Like they're terrific artists. I want to see them get the shot sometimes. You know, like why like, dude, you're an NHL goalie. Like, why are you making the jersey? Like if
The New Jersey jersey.
if Austin Matthews designed a Leaf jersey and it turned out to be like, I don't know, remember the Mooterus Dallas Stars jerseys? Then if they're like that, I'm not gonna buy it because it's Austin Matthews who made it. I'm like, I want a nice jersey, and I think they should really let these like young creators, like, there's so many cool ones, like Jared said. It feels like wasted potential.
100%.
black
It was sort of going to be my next point. Like, who's the one calling the shots here? Because, like, if you're going to make a jersey, it has to have public appeal. Like, why don't you throw it out to a small group of the public and see what they think? Because I haven't seen many good comments at all on this New Jersey Devils jersey. The Canada ones, it's a bit of a mixed bag. Guys like the white ones a lot, but then you go to the blacks and it gets a little sketchy. But like, why can't you throw this out there? If you're a developer, first of all, you're on the national team, and second of all, you're on an NHL hockey level, the best sort of level you can be playing in the world. How do you not run this by a group of people saying, do people really do like this? Are we going to make or max out the revenue that we possibly can with selling this jersey? Like, I just didn't really get that part. And I know I've seen like the young developers, the concept artists making these jerseys. They're terrific. Like, I hop in shell mode sometimes, like create your own team, just mess around with the jerseys just to see just to get some feel, see what it's like. But
with the jerseys.
The Jersey
jerseys.
Yeah,
those
Sorry.
Jersey jerseys.
Messing it up. Okay, you know what? Yeah, just cut
That's
me.
got to be the
Just
title
cut
or
me.
something.
I'm dead.
Oh my god.
Getting into it. But again, like the concepts, it's let the artist eat, man. Like, give them a shot because they really know what's up. And I don't know if you remember this, Adam. I know you two, Evan and Jerry, you don't watch too much soccer. Juventus, they had a jersey and they let kids legit color it. It was on a canvas. They let the kids color it. I guess it was sort of a sentimental thing with the kids, but they actually went out and played games, more than one game. It wasn't just a one-off. They played like 5-6 games in those jerseys. That was quite concerning. So again, it's, I guess, where you want to get your art from. I think the league should maybe lean towards better suiting the public, because that New Jersey one, isn't it? I don't know. Do you guys want to spend a little bit more time on this?
No,
or do you want to get a roll into our favorite segment?
Trivia jerseys. Oh, our favorite segment.
Our favorite segment. This one, this trivia segment's quite interesting, to say the least. I don't got a bonus one for you guys, but again, good content as always. So without further ado, it is time for season 2, episode 9, the revamped season 2, episode 9. It's trivia back underway. And just to give you guys a heads up, we recorded the video, as you know, last week. It didn't end up going up, but we did manage to get the trivia, and this is how it went. So it was 6-5 your scoreline, 6 for Jared, 6 for Adamo, and of course 5 for Evan. Still was not able to complete the comeback, but we will see if he can do it this time, because he's pretty darn good on the list questions. Let's see if he can keep it up, because he may or may not have one in store. So then, like, first question, let's get right into it. Number 1 on the board, coming at you fast. When the Leafs traded Thomas Kaberle in 2011, they received a first-round pick in that trade. Who did the pick become? And I will give you a hint because this one is a tough question. The pick was traded to another team.
Oh fuck! I thought it was
No,
like
it's
the Leafs
not.
picked it. The Leafs didn't pick it.
It was not a Leafs pick. The pick was
This
traded to
was in
another
2000.
team, and the other team was so it was traded to another team, and that team used that first round pick to select a player. Who was that player?
Well,
Can you
I
give
was-
us the draft year or no? Would that be too
2011.
dead?
20. I'll search up the draft year for you.
didn't you just say 2011?
No.
Oh
But
yeah,
it
it
happened in
happened.
2011,
It happened
but-
in 2011.
you said he said the trade happened in 2011, but the year that the guy was drafted.
I will give it to you right now.
Fuck! I was gonna say Tyler Biggs. If you guys know Tyler Biggs.
Yep.
But it wasn't. Actually, no. The Leafs. Oh my God, Tyler Biggs. Here, while he's doing that. Oh, you wanna know, Mario
He
Russo?
was drafted in 2015. This player.
He was drafted in 2015.
Yeah. So this pick, I guess, didn't.
It was
sort of a.
what a first round pick.
It was a first round pick. Yes. So this player is talented.
Fuck. Okay, so I got a one. It's me, right?
Yep. You're up first, man.
Okay, I got a 1 in 30 shot here. Who did they trade him to? Is that too much? Wait, no. Thomas.
If I give it to you,
Don't
you
give
will
it.
know
Don't
right
give it.
away.
Don't give it. Who the hell did? Wait, no. 'Cause it was. Oh, the Leafs got a. How the hell? The Leafs got
So
a first?
the Leafs traded.
And the Leafs
The
sent-
Leafs had a first round pick.
No, the Leafs traded first round pick to this team.
I'm gonna say. Was he a first round pick? Troy Terry.
Troy Terry. That is incorrect. No.
Darn.
Whoa, that was actually a really good guess.
It was a good guess. It was a good guess. It's a tough question. I really had to dig deep for this one.
Yeah, I gotta
Okay,
put my hand down.
who's next? I don't know who's
You're
next.
up, Evan. You're up.
It's you.
Oh,
Evan.
me? Okay. Okay, so 2015. I'm trying to remember that draft. Holy shit.
Was Troy Terry even drafted though? I have no freaking clue.
Was 2015 the McDavid draft year?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so
Troy Terry was a fifth round pick. Holy
yeah, you
shit.
didn't know that? Troy Terry was like pick 168.
48. Damn. But yeah.
Yeah,
Hold
he
on.
was well because he wasn't that good. Like all they really knew him for was his World Juniors, like which whatever, like doesn't make a huge impact on scouts.
Okay, y'all now.
And he also was only known for his shootout goals. So
What's the guess, man?
fuck,
Shot in the dark.
would have
This guy
been.
was my second guess. That's not even.
I legit recommend you take the shot in the dark. It's-
Dude, I literally don't even remember that draft besides McDavid, Eichel. I think like Dylan Strome was that year. Oh wait, would it have been? Would it be Griffin Reinhardt?
No.
Correct. No.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I'm
Jared.
like taking a shot in the dark here.
It lies in your hands. If you can't get it right, we shall move on. I'll give you the answer because this one, I'm not spending too much time on this.
Okay, the fact that Damo's guessing Anaheim prospects, I have to think of who was drafted by Anaheim in 2015. I
You
feel
won't
like
get it.
I trust this kid.
I have the draft in front of me. You won't get the Anaheim pick.
This kid play for Anaheim.
Okay, let's get this straight here. It was not Anaheim. This is Anaheim's next question.
That's where you can don't tell him the fucking team. So I
I
don't
won't tell you the
Okay.
team, but the
You know
Anaheim's
what?
not
Just
even there.
off the top of my head, the first name that popped into my mind, I'm thinking of teams that had multiple draft picks in the first round. That is where my head went first. Just teams that I'm guessing they had their own pick and the Toronto pick. I am thinking 15th overall, Urho Vakanainen to the Boston Bruins.
Wait, he wasn't even drafted in 2015 by the Boston Bruins.
Was
No,
that
buddy.
2016?
That was
No, that was
16.
20.
No, it
No,
wasn't.
2015 was when they went to Brusque.
I know they had 3 in a row. Was that not?
Yeah, it was
2015?
Jacob
Zaboral,
Zaboral.
DeBrusk, and Shenishin.
Again, incorrect. Do you want me to give it to you? I think I should because
Is it
Yeah.
Jacob Larson?
no, Travis
Ah,
Konechny.
Fuck it. Oh, no way.
Yeah,
Wow.
snubbed at
Crazy.
24th overall. So the Leafs traded a pick with Thomas Cavalier, and they went to the Philadelphia Flyers. They selected Travis Konechny with their 2015 24th overall.
I wouldn't have.
No, it was a tough one,
Was
man.
that.
It was bad.
Yeah.
It
Dude,
took
to
me some
be
days.
honest with you, I forgot the first round. Besides, like Kyle Connor was in that. Like I forgot that fucking Konechny was in the first round.
That's one of the greatest drafts ever.
That's
2015.
easily the greatest draft of the 2010s.
I just even say 2000s.
No,
Maybe
2003 was
2005?
better.
Oh yeah, so
2003. That was Fleury. Are you fucking kidding me? That was the best.
I still
2015
think
was
2000
Eichel and McDavid
Yeah, but
And
I
Marner.
think
and Marner and
No, 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 but
Rantanen.
if- okay, if you look
and
at
Provorov.
2003, like, with all, like, okay, 2015 draft, you need to wait like 10 years and then like wait for the accolades. Like 2003 was Fleury, Dustin Brown was in that draft, Ryan Getzlaf was in that draft.
I think it'll
like,
get there. I think 15 will get there.
I think 15 will get there. I think right now you gotta like just pause for the cause, wait for the accolades to get there. Like
Fair. Oh,
All right,
crap.
ready for
Jared,
question
put
2?
that hand
I'm ready
down.
for Crescent too. Yeah, put
He's
the fucking
cheating.
hand down, Jared.
He's cheating, teacher.
Okay, well, I hope your draft knowledge continues to stay up to date because this question does regard the NHL draft. Can you name me all the Leafs' first-round picks since 2012?
Yes,
Oh,
again.
fuck, I'll be
Easy.
last here.
Very easy.
Give me a second, Damo, so I know I can.
So why don't we like
Correct.
incorporate?
You could time me in like, I'll do this in like 10 seconds.
All right,
Okay,
hit
hang
it.
on,
Starting
kidding,
from.
kidding. Kidding.
I'm kidding.
Okay, I want that
Here, do
I
you
want
want me
that
to go?
timer on the 10
No,
seconds.
no. Okay, I'm going from 2012. 2012, Morgan Riley. 2013, Frederick Gauthier. 2014, William Nylander. 2015, Mitch Marner. 2016, Austin Matthews. 2017, Timothy Liljegren. 2018, Rasmus Sandin. 2019, we didn't have one. 2020 on Rodion Amirov. And 2021 was we didn't have one.
You missed one.
No, he got them all.
No, but didn't we have 2 first-round picks in 2016?
No, we did not. And it would have been Igor Korshkov, and he was
No,
a
but what about when we drafted Dermott? Was he not taken in the first round?
no.
No. Dermott was
They're
taken in
both
second
second-round
round,
picks.
2015.
Dude, wait, guys.
Yeah.
Guess who scored for Vegas? Brooks.
Cole Caulfield scored, by the way, tonight.
Oh, he did.
Hell is Cole Caulfield.
Full call.
Hold on.
Jared, I'm 100% sure. Dermott went like
no,
35th.
No, I had it in front of me. Yeah, he
and
got 'em all.
Korshkov went
Okay,
31st.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
I was thinking that there was a year we had 2 picks, and like, because you obviously named all the first ones, I was thinking there was a guy that was later on. Like,
no, I
in-
thought
in-
so. When I was looking at it, I thought so too, and then I realized, wow, we didn't actually have 2
Yeah,
first rounders that
never,
we
eh?
drafted. It was close though. We had a pick at 31, and I guess that
Yeah,
was the
the
second.
Matthews draft.
Yeah,
when
that
we
was
came last.
yeah.
It was
So we had
Igor
the back to
Korshkov.
back. No.
Should have been
Good
fucking the brink up.
It's okay,
Alright.
Damo. It's okay. It's okay.
So
We'll get through
Adamo
this.
is at 1, Jared is at 0, and Evan is at 0. Let's see if you guys can tie it up again. I don't got the bonus question on me, but I do have this one that I'm sure you guys should know because it is a big moment
Wait,
in
is this
NHL
the
history.
bonus question?
This is the final question.
Oh, before the bonus?
No, there's no
Or
bonus.
wait.
There's no bonus. No
Oh,
bonus
okay. I'm
today.
sorry. I was like getting. Okay, I was getting.
So no bones day.
No bonus today. No bonus. So the third and final question of this trivia segment: which player took home the All-Star Game MVP honors in 2016?
Oh man, that's
2016.
easy. That's so easy.
Jared, man, I expect you to eat this one up for
Eat
lunch.
it alive.
Come on now. They shouldn't even take you.
I think once it clicks.
Okay, never mind. No, it just clicked. John Scott.
And there we go. It was a given.
John Scott.
Damn, bro.
I initially
wasn't
forgot.
quick.
I was about to say, like, I was about to do a whole spiel where I was like, "Oh, I remember this year. I remember this
Look
year."
at
And then all
you.
of a sudden,
He was using your Yiddish saying spiel.
Oh, but yeah.
no, I
that's-
was about to say I remember one year when Simmons won it and whatever, and then all of a sudden I'm like, wait, no, there was a year John Scott won it and they lifted him up. That's you can't forget that one.
Yeah.
I didn't think that one was gonna slip past the brain. I know I teased you guys a bit on number 1, but I had to get you guys back on number 3, even out the playing field. And John Scott,
Murders.
yeah, John Scott murders a lot of people too. If you did not know, don't know why he was the MVP. Probably the most jokes
Killed
we've
it.
seen.
That was the
was
reason
hilarious.
why they like he was the reason why like the media like started taking more percentage of like who actually is allowed
Yeah.
into the
They
Yeah.
changed it up big time.
That was
Like-
pretty bad looking back, but that was fucking
It was
awesome.
jokes.
No,
It was
honestly,
such a fun
I think
year.
it was great for media because it like brought a whole new life to the NHL like All-Star game. That's
Yeah.
a one-time thing. Like that had
Yeah.
to be only a one. Like you can't have that as your common theme. Like it was bad for the NHL, but it was good because like whatever. But that was the reason why they started making it 50% like media as well.
Could you imagine if like the NBA, such a superstar-driven league, fucking LeBron James, Steph Curry, and like Yuta Watanabe is an all-star? Like,
but that's
the
different though,
Raptors?
because like they like the media votes, and then like players also vote, and like
Yeah.
honestly, they say it's fan voting. They have such a minuscule
no
like opinion. Like there's no chance that they actually say like, oh, he had more votes than him, so he's going in. Like they play maybe a 5% role, if that.
Yeah, no way. Remember that year? Was it when Brady Chuck got in over Marner and Riley that year?
But that's different though,
It was
because
over Matthews, and it was because Matthews was injured.
Yeah, but why?
He was just next on the list. I don't know why.
How? How the fuck? First, that was the year Marner had like, I'm fucking stepping up for Mitch Marner here and Morgan Riley.
It's rare.
Was
It's
it-
rare.
Was the year Morgan Riley was like? I don't think Morgan Riley's ever made an All-Star game, guys. That's an issue.
I think you're right.
This guy almost won a fucking Norris and has never made the
Well,
NHL
look,
All-Star
I think
game.
it's
It's so
different.
bad.
Damn it, like respectfully, I think it's different now that they moved it to 3-on-3, because
Yeah.
one, you have to take one player from each team.
Which
so
is
out of the
stupid.
Toronto Maple Leafs, in your ladder, it's going
Yeah.
Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner, then Morgan Riley.
Yeah.
When you look at teams, like some teams, their best player happens to be a defenseman, like Ottawa with Erik Karlsson.
Yeah.
So I think like out of respect, like, and also the 5-on-5
get
was
that.
way too boring, and 3-on-3
Yeah.
brought a new light. So it's just the way, and I don't like, as much as they like being all-stars, like like
It doesn't matter. Like,
Like,
All-Stars in the NBA or All-Stars in, I guess even just baseball. Do they care about
Baseball,
Like,
baseball is a big all-star.
it matters, but like the NHL gives.
Well,
a
because
shit.
you get so many bonuses for baseball.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if you're an all-star, like
and there's
they-
something to play for. You get
Yeah,
home field
yeah,
World
advantage if you
Series,
win.
right?
no, they
Yeah.
don't do that anymore. That
Oh, they took
ended.
it
I
out?
don't think they stopped it.
They stopped it 5 years ago because it was
Wow,
the dumbest
I'm out of
thing
date.
ever.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I remember when I was growing up, it was like that.
No, because I hated it. Like if you were a better team,
Yeah.
you had to go on the road because players who
Yeah.
weren't from your team lost an all-star game, which you're basically betting on if the players give a rat's
Yeah, you kind
ass
of just
or
gotta
not.
pray. At that
Like
point for-
you're basically betting that your league gives two shits about if you win a fucking
Yeah.
all-star game.
It was a little. I like that. I do like though they tried to like provide incentive for the players to try. Because the NHL, going back to the NHL,
But who cares?
The
'Cause
All-Star game
half-
fucking sucks. It's so bad. It's
But
so
half
bad.
the guys in the MLB All-Star game won't even be in the playoffs, so who the
I know.
fuck cares?
Like the NHL, why I'll never understand why every every player from a team has to make it. Like, why is Clayton Keller an all-star every fucking year? How?
Well, because
They suck.
Leo
because here's
Komarov
the-
made the all-star game one time.
I was gonna
guys.
say, yes,
What the
sir.
fuck?
because
Uncle Leo,
I think
baby.
the issue, I think there's pros and cons to it. One, it's like if you don't have someone from a team, like from
Oh my
every
God,
team,
get better.
Then the
Get
team's
better.
garbage.
Get
No,
better.
no, no. What I'm saying is
better.
like then you're losing so many
That's-
viewers
that
that you
was-
could
that's it.
potentially have.
Get better.
You lose a full part of a fan base. So
You
I
want
do agree with
viewers?
that, but,
No,
like,
but
Give
it-
people
I
a
don't
reason
think
to
it's-
view.
I don't think it's a rationale of getting better. Like I think Clayton Keller's a great player. I think he's just in a horrible situation where he's also a player where he can't be the number one guy. I think he needs
Yeah.
role players around him. Like he's a great player. We've seen his talent. There's a reason why he was drafted so high.
Oh, it's fine.
But
he's
it's
a
just
player.
it,
It's really
you
against
can't-
Clayton Keller.
you can't have guys like you can't have guys all from 3 different teams because then no one else is watching it. Like
No, but you want to put your best product on the ice. No, like the fact
Yeah, but it's
Mitch
also an
Marner, Morgan
entertainment
Riley.
but it's also an entertainment
I
factor.
guess so. I get maybe do like what the I don't know, but I don't like what the NBA does either. No, you know
Well,
how like
I-
the NBA when they'll get like fucking Derek Jones Jr. to do the dunk contest over LeBron.
But that's different though. Well, LeBron won't do it. That's the thing.
Yeah, no, I mean like even like they friggin' Pat Connaughton, what was his name? The Duke guy. It was like Pat Connaughton, Cassius Stanley, and I see you two are confused, Mario and Jared, and you should be because this is like
No, I follow
this is
basketball
like
too,
if-
and I'm
if
blanking
Adam-
on the third name. But I was
I
like,
couldn't
this
tell
dude,
you.
he was literally
it's like if
a
Adam
bench
Brooks was
throw.
doing like this speed contest, like Paul Byron.
But
But
here-
it'd be cool. That's
Here's
what
the
I
thing,
want
like
to see that.
I went, so like I was lucky enough to go to like the NBA skills competition when it was here in LA.
Yeah.
And to be honest, it's like these guys, like although you're a bench player in the NBA, you're still
Yeah.
good enough that a team says
100%.
we're willing to pay for you to at least like come with us, and if we need you from time to time, we'll play you. and also just a matter of like some of these guys don't want to do it. Like, so then like, what are you gonna, if you're the NBA, what are you gonna do? Like, not have a dunk?
And I don't think it's a bad thing because like Cassius
Because it can lead to
Stanley
injuries.
killed
Like
it, right?
if you land awkwardly on your ankle after trying to do an egregious dunk, like
you're fucked. You're fucked.
Like,
it
what are
is
you
so
gonna say? Oh, James Harden twisted, like fell on his ankle, and now he has like a torn. Now, like because he fell awkwardly on his foot as well, he's a torn meniscus, and now he's out for the rest of the year because of an All-Star game.
Well, yeah, but bringing it back to hockey, I kind of want to see the NHL. Like, you remember, like I think the prime era of the NHL, or I guess maybe because we were kids, but was when Patrick Kane was doing the fucking where he like the Superman thing out, like. I think Subban brought the mullet out for any of those different years, but the breakaway challenge, that was awesome. When the teams did the skills content, like it was a team skill thing where like they start on one ice, so they're saucing it across one-timers and then passes in the middle and then tight turns. And then like that was awesome. And that's where I think the NHL could maybe capitalize on where you bring your Clayton Kellers, where you bring your Jordan Eberle from the Kraken, right? Not in the All-Star game where you know, guys like Mitch Marner are sitting out, guys like Braden Point are sitting out in favor of having a guy at the All-Star game. Why not bring, hey, Clayton Keller, come pass some pucks at the skills contest, which is already an infinitely better event than the All-Star game because it's fucking 3-on-3 shinny out there. And then the All-Star game, maybe we'll get viewers because we're throwing fucking all the guys out on a line. Like, if the Leafs happen to be good that year, and like Willie's about to put 100 points, Tavares 40 goals, fucking send 4 Leafs. If they all shit the bed, like this year, don't send a single Leaf. I don't think any of them are all-stars this year. And that's just my opinion.
I think the difference is like where other leagues like actually specialize events where it's like, okay, you are the best dunker, so you're gonna go. The NHL doesn't do that. They just kind of select the list of you're the best player on your team, you're gonna go and we're gonna put you in this event even if it's not something you're good at.
Yeah.
And the main example that I think of is yes, Zdeno Chara is shit, but he should be able to continue winning the hardest shot. Like,
fucking throw him out there.
He has the best shot.
Me see it.
We should bring him in. Like, yeah, the hardest shot competition should be a yearly battle between Shea Weber and Zdeno Chara. See whoever gets
awesome. I want to see fucking Ilya Mikheyev race Connor McDavid again. Dude, that'd be awesome.
Like, it doesn't matter if they aren't good players. You should actually focus on, okay, these are the events. Who are the fastest skaters in the league? Who are the hardest shooters?
Let me see Kasperi Kapanen duel it against like Paul Byron or, you know?
Yeah, like that's the main thing that I think of is what, yes, he isn't a good player anymore, but why hasn't Zdeno Chara been able to continuously try to break his own record? Like, he currently has the record for the hardest shot, but he hasn't been able to go back and fight to get a better score because he hasn't gone back. And I get it, he's not a good player. He's not, by the league standards, an all-star. But still, like, I don't know. Like, at that point, I agree when you're trying to get a single player from each team, it takes away from the fun storyline that could be this old 40-year-old player. But the one thing he's still really good at is firing pucks. Let's see if he can break an NHL record.
I guess so. You know, I just hate that every player has to, like, every team has to get it. That's just something I hate. Like, Komarov should never have been an all-star. Come on. I get you have to sell all-star jerseys that they wear like once of every team's logo on it. Like that's another big excuse for the NHL to like have an all-star game is the jerseys, even though they kind of suck.
I hate that it's the what's it called now where they do basically one color and it's like the team's logo. I don't like that. I don't like it either. The NHL logo, like
put the all-star logo. You know?
So, yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
if it's an all-star jersey, fucking embrace it.
I agree, and you can't play with it in NHL, like in EA Sports. You can't play with it because it's like each team's individual logo. You can't replicate into a video game.
Yeah.
That bothers me. I know every year I look at what the hell are they doing, and they're using the same all-star jersey in the last year they did it, like 2018.
Yeah.
And just recycling that every year because that's the last time they actually had a quote-unquote all-star.
If you remember that All-Star game was awesome. It wasn't awesome, but it had a couple cool moments, like the Austin Matthews, Jack Eichel when they like pointed at the thing. Like Patty Kane got into a fight that year. It was awesome.
I still love the Patty Kane John Scott fight.
Yeah, that one.
That's my
That
favorite.
was-
Well, really the issue, like back to the fan voting and how it all works, they won't allow a player like John Scott to go back because that situation, like, it became a huge story. It became a fun thing. People were writing articles about it, whatever. It became an awesome thing. The league isn't going to do it again because it was fun, and the league hates fun. Like, they
Yeah.
don't like fun. They
I also
want
think it
things-
wouldn't be as fun, to be fair. Like if John Scott
Yeah,
made
I
the
agree.
All-Star game again.
There's something about it doing it once. I do agree with that. It's not the same if every year a shitbox player gets a chance. But
Yeah.
still, it's like, I don't know. It was such a cool story, and they won't allow, like, the NHL had to go and put their foot down. We're not allowing you to make a mockery of our league. Like, we just embrace it as a fun thing. And
Yeah.
I agree. It completely changes if you do the same thing year after year. So maybe you don't allow it. Maybe it was the right idea to kind of step in and have a little bit more structure how it works.
Yeah.
But just the way they handled all that, we're putting our foot down, we're forcing a trade, and we're whatever.
Do
Like,
you remember they fucking traded him?
yeah. To
Oh my
Montreal.
god, they traded him to Montreal and sent him to the minors too.
Yeah, like
Oh
they
my god.
tried to fight against that because they hate fun.
I gotta go, guys, because I got dinner soon.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Let's wrap this bad
dinner
boy.
Also,
soon.
yeah,
We're
Leafs
gonna
game's starting in a little bit.
Yeah,
Oh,
let's
shit,
wrap it
yeah,
up.
15 minutes. Yeah.
Anyways, All-Star game, fun, all that kind of stuff. We got miles and miles to go in the season. We're already at the quarter mark. When we get to the halfway mark, I think we'll evaluate it a little more. Personally, my favorite memory was when Kessel got traded for Sagan. I'm sure a lot of fans can relate to that as well. But I think we'll just discuss that when the time comes, because I think we got to wrap this bad boy up. So again, that concludes season 2. Episode 9 of the Leafs Line podcast, the new episode 9 of the Leafs Line podcast. Just to update you on the score heading into next week, it's 7 for Jared, 7 for Adam, and 5 for Evan. So let's see if this guy can cue the comeback next week when we hit episode 10, season 2 of the Leafs Line podcast. But for now, that is for me. I'm Mario Russo. Joining me again, Evan Davis from LA this time, Jared Rotenberg, and Adam Rimoli. I wish you guys all the best. Thank you for joining us. And yeah, click like if you like the video, click subscribe, and leave a comment. I really want to hear your guys' thoughts on the jerseys because, man, it was a controversial topic, and I think it's something that needs to be dissected. And please cause a flame war in the YouTube chat because I really want to see that bad boy light up. But again, thank you guys for joining us, and have a great evening. Finally, I get to end off these podcasts. So see you later, guys.